Welcome to Limestone County Sports. We are back with another, I wouldn't say preseason podcast yet. Last week, if you tuned in, we were interviewing head softball coach at Ardmore, Miss Whitney King, and we got another new face here, not necessarily in North Alabama, but in Limestone County. Elkmont High School head football coach Joel Schrenk. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Good.
You are getting right into the midst of preseason workouts and all of that good stuff. What's been going on in the last couple of weeks around the hilltop?
Just, weight room, speed, agility, some basic install stuff. Just trying to get some stuff put in.
Yep, and last year was your first year at Elkmont. If you don't mind, you are not originally from this area, correct?
Correct.
Where are you from?
So as a boy, I grew up in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was 12, we moved to Birmingham.
Okay.
But we actually went to church in Athens.
Where at?
So Apostolic Christian Church right over here on Hastings Road.
Nice.
So my daddy was bivocational pastor there. And so grades 7, 8, 9, and 10, I lived in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Played at Pinson Valley.
Okay. How big a school was that?
It's 5A then.
Okay.
I think they're 6 now. Maybe, yeah 6 now.
Pretty good size high school. That's where you played high school ball?
High school ball through 10th grade. Actually, one game in 11th grade, and then we moved back to Michigan. And so I finished up 11th and 12th grade, went back to the same hometown.
Yeah.
So I knew most everybody. And then one semester of college, came back here, and we've been in Alabama ever since.
Okay, so you played high school ball.
2 years in Alabama, 2 years in Michigan.
Yeah. What position did you play?
Man, I played a little bit of everything, but I call myself a linebacker.
Linebacker. That was the hitting people is what had you heart.
That was it. I wanted to hear them
Pads popping
in pain.
Yeah, I always love like Ardmore does, like and some other schools do Midnight Madness, or the first day of practice when you can get in full pads, and when you hear them pads pop for the first time every season, it just makes the hair stand up on your arms a little bit.
It's still exciting.
Yep.
It's still exciting.
Sure is. Didn't play any ball past high school level?
I did not.
Okay, and so then tell me how you got to the coaching profession.
Yeah, so when I was young, I was 20 when I married. My wife had 2 kids. Michael was 7 at the time, and so I just started coaching him. I was coaching Little League football, Little League baseball. And
while you're pursuing education?
I was in college.
Okay, sorry.
In college, working on my education degree, and ran into a guy, a friend of a friend, and he's like, "So you're coaching Pop Warner?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You ever want to coach at high school?" I said, "Absolutely." Mm-hmm. And he introduced me to Vance Robertson, who was the head coach at Austin at the time.
And here in Decatur?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I started at Austin. Got a teaching job in Decatur City, and I started my first year. I was the volunteer tight ends coach, and my only player was Clint Woodfin.
Are you serious?
And so Clint and I spent every day together. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. And, he's been a head coach several different places. He's an administrator now, goes to church here. So, Clint and I were pretty tight. I was probably 26.
Yeah.
He was 18, whatever.
Yeah, so you would go to practice and then go hang out at Top Golf or something?
No, but he might come to the house and eat some wings or something.
Yeah. Awesome.
So that's how I started, Austin High School.
Austin High School as a volunteer. When did you kind of move into more serious roles, or where?
So the next year, I was paid. The following year, I was the DC for the freshman team, and I think I was just on the freshman team 1 year maybe, and then back to the varsity D line, and then DC under Coach Gaddis and Coach Norwood. And then, I got my first head coaching job in 2007.
Where was you at in 2007?
So I went to Clarksville Northwest, 6A school, a 5A school, I think, in Tennessee.
Okay.
Clarksville. I was there 2 years, and then I went to Cannon County, Tennessee, and I was there 3 years. Won a region championship there, hosted a playoff game, first time ever. I think even till now, I don't think they've ever been back, at least not hosted.
Yeah.
And then Faulkville.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to get to. Yeah. I use this website. We'd already talked about it before we started recording. AHSFHS.org has a ton of high school statistics and history on it, and they've got you listed at 2012, first year at Faulkville. They didn't have, obviously, those coaching gigs up in Tennessee. Right. So what's your coaching record in Tennessee of those first 5 years?
Not good. Like,
well, you said you went to the playoffs first time ever.
We were I think we were 6-5 that year.
Yeah. Okay.
I think overall up there it's like 10-41. It wasn't good.
Gotcha. In 5 seasons, and then in 2012 went to Faulkville.
Correct.
Had a pretty good run at Faulkville.
We did. We had a great run. Had good people working for me, and had 3 sets of really good players.
Mm-hmm. They were flirting with 2A right in the middle of that run. I think you got bumped back down to 1A the last season.
We went back and forth.
Yep. And you had 5 of those 7 seasons at Faulkville went to the playoffs. A couple of those years, I think, was second round.
Correct. We won 3 first-round games. I think we had 2 region championships.
Yep.
In that time.
Yeah. What do you credit? I know you've already mentioned some things, coaches and other things. What do you credit the success at Faulkville to?
Good players and good coaches.
Mm-hmm. Biggest senior classes while you were there?
Probably the last one, the 11-1 year. I think we had 15 seniors. That's
a huge class for a 1A program.
Big. And I had those kids since 6th grade.
Yeah, that's a pretty good run. That's the ones that get you to the second round of the playoffs.
One of them was my grandson. It was fun.
Hey, man, that's awesome. Yeah. Was it he was a senior?
Yep.
And so I guess kind of after he was moving on, and you had some other offers, went from there to Hazel Green.
Man, the story it's a God thing how we ended up over there.
Tell it.
So in the last 3 years we were at Faulkville, we also led 3 mission teams to Haiti. Mm-hmm. My wife and I. And we finished that year. We were 11-1. I was athletic director, so I was AD. We were on an AB schedule, so I was AD half the week, taught the other half the week. I had it. It was really nice. The football program was kind of running itself. I mean, everything was really good. We had been to Haiti. We had seen, poverty, and we had seen struggle, and the Lord was really working in our hearts. And I remember coming home and saying, our life is kind of easy, and I'm not sure we're called to easy. And so we began to pray about it and study and look at some things. And at the time, I was listening to J.D. Greer a lot, podcast. Yeah. And he challenged on New Year's Day, must have been New Year's Day of 18, hey, God, today's the day that if you want us to quit everything and go on the mission field, we're willing. And so I went home and I had that talk with my wife, and man, we prayed that.
Yeah.
And we thought we were going to Haiti.
Yeah.
And about 3 or 4 weeks later, somebody calls me and said, hey, man, Hazel Green's open. I said, I'm good. I don't want no part of Hazel Green. There's been a lot of good coaches there, and it's really hard to win there, and I'm not interested. And talked to some people and this and that. And anyway, Donna and I had decided that I was going to apply. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to tell my principal at Faulkville because we were close. He was a good guy. And I went in to talk to him, and I just turned around and left his office, and I couldn't do it. And I remember coming home that night, and I said, I'm not going. And she said, what is the Lord telling you to do? And so I remember waking up about 4 o'clock the next morning during my quiet time, and I know the Lord doesn't usually speak audibly to people, but I sure heard it clear as day. And he said, Hazel Green's a mission field, and you said you'd go. So that day I applied, talked to my principal, and I think that was on like a Wednesday or Thursday, and I interviewed the next Tuesday, and they called me back the next Thursday, and I was hired. Mm-hmm.
You kind of knew off the jump, this is where we're going to be at.
I told her before I went to the interview, I said, you can start packing.
Yeah.
She said, what do you mean? I said, I've already got the job. She said, "A little confident, aren't you?" I said, "No, it's not that. It's a God thing.
Yeah.
God is all over this." And saying that, those are the 3 hardest years of my professional career.
Mm-hmm.
It was brutal.
Yeah, well, even, just looking at the website, you did improve. You were 1-9 year 1, and then 3-7 the next 2.
And the difference in those last 2, 3, and 7s is we were 7 points with Decatur, 7 points with Coleman, 7 or 10 with Grissom. I mean, year 2, we were still getting blown out. Year 3, we competed.
Yeah.
We were 28 points from 7 and 3.
Yeah.
But it was just a tough fit, man. When God calls you to something, there's going to be adversity.
Mm-hmm.
And Hazel Green was an adverse place for
Yeah.
us.
Now, looking back on that and knowing that God moved you there, like, what are some things that you take away from the 3 years we were here? This is why God had us here.
So we're actually able to in hindsight, see that most of the time in the places we've been. So one of the cool things that happened at Hazel Green, well, there's 2 things. So early on in year 2, one of our players was involved in a bonfire gasoline accident, and his body was burned 3rd degree, like 94%. It was bad. Mm-hmm. And James made it. And he's going to Uganda with us next year. And his mom comes to Donna's Bible studies. And anyway, so there was this connection there that we were able to minister to that family. So James was a big deal in why we had to go. But probably the coolest thing that happened, so we finished on October 31st to November 1 or whatever it was, that last Friday at Hazel Green. And that Monday morning, I got let go. 7:30, get a text, principal, "Hey, I need to see you." Walk in, "You need me to shut the door?" He goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So you know what's up. And but I didn't get another job until late. Well, it was like March. But I finished the year teaching at Hazel Green. And so what my players saw me do was come to work every day with a smile and do my job. And so they got to see adversity that we had talked about. Mm-hmm. Because I teach a whole lot more than football. We talk life all the time. I talked life with a kid this morning, and it had nothing to do with football. So those kids got to see me live it out, which was cool. Mm-hmm. Tough, but cool. And then at the end, like April, March, like my quarterback comes to me and goes, "Hey, Coach, I got saved Sunday at church. Will you come to my baptism?" And so in the next month, we went to 5 or 6 baptisms.
Awesome.
All from those kids most of them were in the 11th grade at that point, but kids that I had for 9, 10, and 11. And so that's why.
Yeah. Still got some relationships from that time there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So coaches for sure. Yeah. Coaches that are on my staff. We still have a text group that we cut up on all the time. And some of the players, absolutely. One of my players last year was an assistant coach for me at Hazel Green, or at Elkmont. Yeah. So, yeah, still see those kids.
Sweet. You moved on from Hazel Green. You said you got let go. Ended up at Woodland for 2 years.
Yep. So Woodland's down in Randolph County, around Lake Wedowee, hour and 15 minutes, probably north of Auburn, about 3.5 from here.
Yeah.
And
2A school.
Yep. Well, they're dropped back this time. Okay. Or next time. No, they're 1A now. We were 2 when I was there.
Gotcha.
Man, a lot of football tradition at Woodland. They hadn't been good since about 2010, but a lot of tradition before that. Matter of fact, 2 of my coaches, one of them was on a state finals team that he played on in '86, and another one in '04. Yeah. That were both on staff, both good coaches. So yeah, I loved Woodland, man. We found a great deal on a little house, and it was about a quarter mile from the school. I drove a golf cart to the school. We called it the Bob Cart.
That's great.
And we had a pool there, and kids would come over and swim. And we had on Tuesday nights we had a detached outdoor building, and we had air hockey and pool table, and so we fed boys, and they all got to hang out and play games and stuff. It was awesome. I loved Woodland.
Yep. You improved there too. You're again 1-9 to start, and 3-7 in year 2. Yep.
And we were getting better for sure. I thought last year we would have, if I'd have stayed, we'd have had a lot more success. But the main reason we left there, I wasn't looking for a job at all. I really just had one more to get to 25 and was ready to get out.
Yeah.
And go to Tennessee or whatever. And
double dip.
we had already talked about buying land up here. And anyway, Mr. Adderholt called me and said, hey, would you have any interest in talking about this job? And so I did. I came and talked to him. And so we were there 2 years. But for about the last 18 months we were there, Donna, my wife, was coming back and forth.
Yeah, your wife's from this area.
She is. She graduated from Clements.
Mm-hmm. How did you and her get connected? If you're originally from Michigan, I know you were down in Birmingham. If you want to share that, you don't have to. But
phenomenal story.
Can we?
So I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
Going to probably Calhoun, maybe Athens. I don't know. Probably Calhoun at that point.
That shows us where you were mentally. You don't even remember where it was.
No.
I was 19. Calhoun,
I was 19.
A&M, UAH. I don't remember.
And got me a part-time job at Domino's Pizza right here in Athens.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the manager.
Manager. So the manager was flirting with.
No, I was flirting with the manager.
Okay, so the delivery driver.
Yes.
Was flirting with the Domino's manager.
She was totally innocent bystander.
Yeah, was you out kicking your coverage in your terms?
I have outkicked my coverage for 34 years now. So anyway, that's how
it worked out.
It did.
Okay, so back to football.
Back to Woodland.
You guys were. She was coming back and forth.
She was driving back and forth, staying with her mom quite a bit, and it was just time to come back. And God made a way.
Yeah, and so you landed at Elkmont last year, year 1, 2, and 8. How's things? Kind of looking back at season 1. Anything you could put your finger on of some things I could have done better, things we did well, things you like about the community. I know I'm from that community. I'm an Elkmont alumni, so up there all the time doing great things in Elkmont. From an outsider's opinion, give me some insight.
Community is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I've felt supported since we've been there. Our administration is really good. Love my day job. I mean, I teach science all day long, and I enjoy that. And I still like teaching. It's not just about the coaching aspect, which I love, but I still like teaching too. So all that's good. Football at Elkmont has not been typically strong year in and year out. Just to put it nicely, but I think we can change that. We're way ahead of where we were last year, obviously, and you should be in year 2.
Yeah, no, just in passing, you've mentioned you've been recruiting halls and got a few more kids out.
We've gotten a few more. We had a bunch kind of commit, but then once summer gets here and it's 109 like it is today, not so many of them are coming. But if we got to load up with 30, that's what we'll load up with, and that's been done a long time in small school football. So I like our kids that are going to be on the field and starting a lot. I like them. I mean, I feel pretty good about them. We just don't have much depth, which is common for everybody. So
that's 3A, 2A, 1A football.
That's it.
Even 4A football.
Yeah. So last year, I don't know what I would have done differently. We did have some injuries. Probably our best lineman broke his ankle on the first play of the jamboree.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge.
He was a senior too, right?
He was. He's able to recover. He signed with Maryville, so he's getting a chance to play at the next level, and so I'm super proud of him for that. But, so we did have a lot of juggling around on the offensive line. We had kids that would be number 13 this week, but he'd be 60 next week because he had to play O-line. Same thing with 13 and 50, and so we had a lot of kids kind of bouncing around, but that's probably going to be similar again this year. We got about 7 linemen that can play varsity football.
Yeah.
We are going to add junior varsity football this year, which last year we really didn't have enough.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited about that.
You just had middle school and varsity last year.
Yep. So we'll get to add. We're going to add the JV squad this year. So we're excited. Now a lot of those kids, will have to play on Monday and Friday, but that's okay. They need the reps. So that's why we're
get some experience there.
We do have a full middle school staff this time, which will be a huge help. So yeah, we're building it slowly but surely.
Yeah, you can build some momentum on them Monday night and sometimes Tuesday night games. Yeah. Get some wins under your belt. Yep. Teach them how to win. Coach, what is Coach Joel Schrenk's coaching style? I know, most head coaches are either kind of defensive or an offensive guru. What would you consider yourself?
So the first thing, my style is relational. It's about the relationship we build with the kids. Mm-hmm. That's number one.
Yep.
And my assistants, they buy into that, or they usually don't stay.
Yeah.
Doing things the right way. I guess some of it's old school, but some of it's not. It's just the way you treat people and the way you want to be. When you want to talk about offense or defense, so I started really as a defensive coordinator. So at Austin, I was a coordinator. I was there 13 years total, and I was a coordinator 5. My last 5 years there, I was a coordinator. So that's where I started. And when I I started calling offense in 2009. Mm-hmm. So I've been on that side of the ball ever since.
And so you still call the plays on Friday night, right?
I do.
Mm-hmm. I do. Still plan to do that?
Yep.
Have a defensive coordinator who calls the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah.
So
Charles Rogers, real good.
Yeah.
Real good guy.
Gotcha. So you're at least relieved for a moment while the defense is on the field, so you can get those juggernauts moving again.
Well, and everybody has sideline replay and all that stuff, but all our kids are playing both ways.
Yeah.
So it's not So I can look at some things. My quarterback probably will not play both ways, so him and I can have some discussion and watch some video and stuff. But I'm usually involved in the game though too. So.
Mm-hmm. What's the summer look like for Elkmont? Got any OTAs, 7-on-7s, things like that?
Yeah, we've got one coming up at home, July 10th, and that'll be
7-on-7 or
so it's kind of an OTA. So it'll be us, Whitesburg.
Okay, go ahead.
Faultville and Tanner.
Okay.
And so we'll have 2 ends of 7-on-7 going on the game field, and then our O-line, D-line guys will be working out on the practice field.
Nice. Now, for anybody listening who does not know what an OTA is, because I get this all the time, can you define for an average listener who maybe got kids just now getting to the football in their life, 5th, 6th, 7th graders, and they come home and say, hey, we've got an OTA today.
I don't even know what OTA stands for.
I'm not exactly sure either. I know that you're pretty much just going to practice with another team.
That's right. I just call it a work day.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So a lot of the same things we do in practice against ourselves, we're going to do against another team. Mm-hmm. And so, that just makes you better.
Yeah. So it's pretty much just a weird name of a scrimmage.
Yeah.
Against another opponent. Of
course, at this point
instead of scrimmaging yourselves.
Right. At this point in the year, we don't have on pads. So.
Right. And small schools, for the most part, are usually not going to be able to go ones-on-ones because most of those guys are playing both ways. So if you bring some teams in together and you can kind of go one-on-ones.
Right. Yep.
Got it.
So that's good work. So we're going coming to our place on the 10th, and on the 17th, we're going to East.
Nice. And as an OTA as well?
Yeah, and I'm not sure what he I don't know what the plan is. If it's just us two or other schools are coming out.
Got any official 7-on-7s?
No. I'm kind of going away from 7-on-7s.
I know some other teams are. I know FCA has put one on for years. It was over at one park. I can't remember the park, and they moved it over to Point Mallard. We worked out here at the church. A lot of our guys went and worked it. Fantastic event. They shared the gospel, fed the kids. But even having said that, I know a lot of guys are kind of just going away from the 7-on-7s.
I'd rather have the work days where I can get our linemen some work.
Yeah. Well, I like the competition of the 7-on-7, but it's not legitimate football. You're not playing real football. Your lineman's not there. Your backs are not getting real work. They might be getting some passes out of the backfield or something. But
I remember last year we had a kid. He got overheated and had to go to the hospital to get fluids, and I'm driving home that day, and I'm thinking, I don't know if this is helpful.
Right.
And it was from the FCA tournament, which was a great tournament.
Yes.
I appreciate those guys. And I've been doing it a long time. At Faultville for years and years, we played in the small school championship. I mean, we did it every year. But, we're just kind of going away from that.
Yeah, and a lot of schools around here, especially our county schools, they're 80% run, 20% pass, somewhere close to that. And, a 7-on-7 is 100% pass.
I've always felt it was better for the defense than the offense.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Your defense needs to see that. And two, it depends what you do offensively, right? So some schemes just aren't really suited for 7-on-7. Mm-hmm. I feel like right now what we're doing offensively is not really suited well for it.
Right. So season 2 is right around the corner. I guess your schedule looks just like it did last year because you're in year 2 of that classification and region. Start off with St. John Paul II. Early schedule, very manageable. You've got all the way up to the bye week, St. John Paul II, Lexington, Lauderdale County, Colbert Heights, Clements, bye week, Sheffield, and then it gets pretty tough those last 4 games with Mars Hill, Colbert County, Rogers, and Ardmore.
Yeah, that's a tough finish. I really think JP2 is probably going to be better. I think this is the second or third year for the coach,
mm-hmm.
and over there they have a lot of turnover. So just being there will help them. That first game's actually been moved to Thursday night at Joe Davis.
Nice.
So that could be a big crowd, I think.
That's the new stadium that maybe that semi-pro team's playing in.
That's right.
The Beavers. Well, I think they got 2 teams now.
Are they
for
playing
some
football there now too?
I believe so. Alabama Beavers, and then there's a Huntsville Astros. They're both semi-pro football teams, and I think they both play at that stadium. I hadn't been over there and check it out.
Would you believe that when I was the head coach at Clarksville Northwest, we had a semi-pro women's team that used my facility?
There was some rumor via Facebook pages that there was an Ardmore Tigers women's semi-pro team trying to develop over the last 6 to 8 months. I would see it slide up every once in a while. I don't know if it caught much traction.
It was a really interesting experience, and I had to be there because they rented the facility from us. So
high quality competition.
No.
No offense, ladies.
They were fairly good in their league or whatever,
Right.
The one cool thing that happened out of that deal is no money. I was promised like $5,000. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
But what did happen is because he was the owner of the Clarksville Fox, somehow he had Predator tickets. And so I got to go to a lot of Preds games.
Hey, that's the benefits of having those relationships sometimes. You didn't get your $5,000 rental fee. But
that we needed. Bad.
Yes, we needed some helmets.
Yes.
But you did go to Predator games. But anyway, Coach, the bottom half of that schedule, like we've already mentioned, Mars Hill. Did Mars Hill?
They won 3A.
Yes, they were state champion last year. I would assume they're going to be.
Lauderdale County in the front half of that's always good too.
Well, Lauderdale County is
Lexington's
in that first few games as well. I'm just saying, the first half through Sheffield is a little easier to manage than Mars Hill, Colbert County, Rogers, Ardmore.
Correct.
And Ardmore's coming in 5A. A lot of numbers.
Yep.
That's at Elkmont.
Yep.
Be a big gate.
Yep. Praise the Lord.
Amen, brother. All right, bro. Any other football-related stuff you want to share with the listeners? Get some fillers out there. Nate, did your program need anything? Like, if you had some, fantastic businesses and farmers in Elkmont, and you were thinking, buddy, if I had XYZ right now, we could really be rolling.
We're actually right in the middle of our, our media guide, working on getting advertisement for that right now. And we just finished one fundraiser. We're having a mattress fundraiser. So look for all the signs. That'll be going on, I think it's August the 9th at our school, and that's a good fundraiser. And so there's things people can do to help out that way. We We bought a new sled this off season. We bought new uniforms this off season. We bought the turf tank robot to help us paint our field.
I'd like to come check that out.
You can do it. We painted yesterday on the practice field. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Time saving for my coaches.
So they mapped out the practice field as well?
Yeah.
Did they map out like the baseball field?
So every sport can join if they want to, but right now football's the only one at our school using it.
Nice. And again, for the listeners, what he's talking about is kind of like a Roomba vacuum cleaner. Right. He has a monster-sized Roomba that probably holds about 5 gallons of paint.
2.5.
2.5 gallons of paint, and he can just turn it loose, and it will paint the field for him.
We take the iPad out there and run it to where it goes and prime it and hit start, and it just takes off.
Now, will it paint numbers?
It'll paint
logos?
Everything. The only hand paint we will paint on the game field this year is the red inside of our logo, and it'll do that.
But you'd have to clean it and change the paint and all that. Man, Coach Snyder, if you're listening, brother.
I begged him to go in half with me.
Yeah. Well, he's got a paint crew up there.
That's what he told me.
That they are very much appreciated, and they love doing it.
Yep.
And there is rumors that the Limestone County high schools could possibly be getting turf. All 6 high schools could possibly be getting turf soon. So I think that might have played into that equation as well.
The Elkmont Red Devils have volunteered to be the guinea pig and go first.
Well, because I am on that paint crew that we were discussing, and especially the first time you do that, we do a big elaborate logo and all those things. That's about an 8-hour job from start to finish, finding pegs and all of that stuff. I think they should go in alphabetical order. And then, that would be, Ardmore would be first to get turf, and then we wouldn't have to paint anymore. And then that would put, that would put East Limestone second.
No Clements.
Oh, you're right. And then, oh, man, you're going to be way down like number 4.
We're not for that.
Okay. I'll see. So let's back up. We could.
If you're going to do that, just do a blind draw.
Yeah. Let's just draw straws.
Probably what will happen, though, really, is each field will be different because when you do turf, the underlayment is the deal. That's where the money is.
Right.
What do you have, 36 inches deep?
Mm-hmm.
So some fields will be better and some will be worse depending on where they're located, all those things. So those will be some of the things that have to get looked at. So even though all 6 county schools are doing it, it's not going to be like a flat, like Clements is, like we're all the same price. That's not going to be the case because it's the groundwork is where the money is.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think just average is at just what I've heard, like $1.5 million a field. Of course, some of those are going to be more, some of those are going to be less.
If we could get it done for that, it'd be good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm all for it.
I am too.
Of things the school board discusses from time to time and investments, I think that's one that should have been done years ago. But when you're talking about the high school fields, they're used for soccer, girls and boys soccer. Some teams are already talking flag football. Girls flag football, and then football, band. The band is on the turf.
Youth sports,
yes. They're not going to have to, paint fields and worry about all of that stuff.
My youth team, the Elkmont Fearless that play there, they're on my field 4 or 5 Saturdays a year.
Yeah.
So that's just more wear and tear. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. And, again, that is a multi-purpose field at all of the schools, softball and baseball.
They could throw ground balls, fly balls, different things. You can't play baseball on it, but you can practice on it.
Right. I'm all for it. I'm hoping that is something that happens. Now, I don't think they would be able to do all 6 at the same time. It would probably be something where, hey, maybe year 1 we've got a couple, year 2 we got a couple, and within maybe 5 years we've got them all.
I think you could probably do 3 and 3, or at least 2, 2 and 2.
Yeah. Well, maybe they just need to do all of the northern, west.
I could get in on that. I could get in on that. And then, since we're closest to the interstate, it might be best.
And closest to Tennessee, which would be like, hey, look at us flexing down here in Alabama. Yeah.
I'll be for it.
We just need to go to the next Board of Education meeting and sell it.
No, I probably won't.
I probably won't either. All right, Coach. Need any volunteers around the football program doing anything? Like we were mentioning the paint crew, you guys don't have to have that now, but chain crews, guys cutting grass, any of those things that you would foresee coming up on season 2.
I cut a lot of grass, so I probably wouldn't turn anybody away want to do that. But
yeah.
Chain crew is handled by my youth football league, so that's good. Mm-hmm. Just anybody in Elkmont that wants to do support, of our kids, we'll find a place. I guarantee you. Yep. And it's not just football; it's band and all the sports.
Yeah, you're at school every day, right, Coach?
That's right. I'm there. Almost
what are you
every
teaching
day.
at Elkmont?
So I teach science. So I'll actually have 4 this time. I'll have physical science, environmental science, forensic science, and earth and space.
That forensic science sounds
It's fun.
cool.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Coach, we're going to end up with our rapid fire segment. Right. I'm just going to give you either a optional multi-choice question. You fire off your answer or short question, first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. Ready? Just going to have fun. No wrong answers. First question, favorite restaurant?
Crickets. I don't know.
That's a good one.
It's not Crickets. It is good. Crickets is good. I'm a wing fan, so wherever I can get a good wing.
Crickets
does have a good wing.
There's a lot of folks around the church here. We spend a lot of lunch breaks over at Crickets. They need one over here somewhere.
Yeah.
Big good one. Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
What about your wife?
Beach.
Oh, same here.
100%.
Carla would love to go to the beach every time. I'm more of a Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge.
I don't like sand in places sand don't belong.
True. I agree with that. Favorite music genre?
Gospel.
Got a
contemporary new stuff.
Got a favorite band, Ralph, mate? Top of the head song.
Mercy Me, maybe.
Okay.
Mercy Me, Casting Crowns. Kind of old school.
Yeah.
I like all the stuff, man. My playlist is like 158 strong.
Yeah, 158 of the same genre or just all over the place?
No, that genre.
Oh, okay. Nice. You guys currently watching anything on Netflix?
So I'm watching The Chosen right now.
Yep. My wife, we started watching that a couple years ago. For whatever reason, just lost interest. My wife, we watched The House of David on Amazon Prime.
Phenomenal.
Dude.
So good.
So good, especially that last episode, which also means they're going to have more seasons, which I'm fired up about because it was fantastic. If you're listening and you have Amazon Prime, go watch House of David. But The Chosen, very similar series. It is on Netflix, and my wife.
I'm watching it on Prime.
Really? It's on both of those?
Might be. That's where I'm watching it.
My wife's watching it too. I'm just all over the place. This time of year, I'm not coming in the house to actually do anything in the house till dark, which is now 9 p.m., which means I'm taking a shower and going to bed.
Yeah. Sadly, Donna and I don't watch very similar shows at all.
We don't either. My wife.
She loves, HG and.
Yeah.
My
wife watches a lot of murder and forensic science stuff, lots, like almost to the point where I'm like, why aren't you watching so much of this? Like, are you planning to take out your husband and you want to know how to get away with it? And then I'm just watching weird stuff, man.
I'm weird too.
Just absolutely just weird stuff and a lot of live sports that my wife's in on live sports, but after she's watched football all fall and then the draft, and now we've got the USFL league, and she's done with football at the Super Bowl. She's like, okay, we're no football. And then we jump in softball, and now we got professional softball because we have a daughter that plays softball. And this time of year, she's out on sports. She's done with it.
Right.
I don't want to watch any sports until we have Friday Night Lights back on again. And so I get it. But anyway, same thing at my house. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
What's usual bedtime?
9.
Wow, that's a little early.
8:30 last night.
How old are you?
55.
I just turned 50.
It was 8:30 last night.
I went to bed at 10 last night.
But I was up at 4.
this morning up at 4.
Yeah.
You guys had early workouts?
No, we started at 7.
That's early, Coach.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even out of bed at 7 yet.
Yeah.
Name one bucket list item that you have not been able to check off the list yet.
Travel-wise, I guess I want to go to Hawaii. I want to see the Grand Canyon.
Good one.
I don't know. I don't think about. I like to play some golf courses.
Yeah.
I like to play.
Do you get to play a lot of golf?
No.
Like to play.
I used to be a good golfer. For 10 years, I was a golf coach, and
Okay.
I got where I could play a little bit, but now I'm just an old fat guy out there.
I'm always been an old fat guy out there, and I've never been any good. Usually my golf game consists of if I can return home with the same amount of balls that I left the house with, it was a good day.
I'm almost always plus. I don't lose many.
Well, I find a lot. That's because I'll hit one out in the woods.
But
and
if you're
while
walking
I'm out
down
there,
the fairway, you don't usually find any straight.
No. Well, I'm never there.
Yeah.
I'm always in the woods, and one ball went in, I come out with 3.
I'd want to play. I have played Sawgrass. That was amazing. I'd want to play Augusta.
Oh, yeah.
I want to play Whistling Straits.
Well, I was going to say Augusta's probably, I don't know. Our God can do anything.
Yeah.
I'll say that. It's going to be a tough one for us to pull off on our own.
They'll be golfing in the new heaven and the new earth.
And sun drop.
I think you'll be really good too.
And sun drop.
Yeah. You think?
Oh, it's manna. It's like liquid manna, bro.
Well, that's good.
Favorite. This is one I really want to hear. Last question, Coach. Favorite coaching play call of all time? And it can be multiples. If you got a couple of them.
Mine or somebody else's?
Yours. Well, both. Give me somebody else's first. It could be college, NFL, pro, anything.
The onside kick Saban did against Clemson.
I just seen that last week.
That was really good.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Out of character for him.
Out of character. Perfect scheme. Perfect execution.
Set it up well.
Yeah. That was classic. That was really good.
What about
there's also it's called the Alabama screen. Alabama did it against LSU.
Yep.
And I don't remember if it was Henry or Richardson
that was,
or one of those guys.
Yeldon. TJ Yeldon.
TJ Yeldon, you're exactly right. Number 4.
McCarron to Yeldon.
Yeah, we put that in. We've run that for a long time, but that was a big play. Plays that I've called.
Yeah, what about Joel's coaching game winner, last second, just absolute mind blown, blew the offense or the defense, probably exploded the defense.
Probably one of the funnest games we ever had was we were playing Danville when I was at Fault. When we were 1A and they were 4A, and big rival. It's like Elkmont, Ardmore, whatever. It's 8 miles apart.
Yeah.
And they had been running that mouth, and we just came out and just boat raced them. Like it was 42-0 in the first.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That game was fun. 1 year at Tanner, so you'll like this. This was good. This is a whole series of plays, but we weren't very good that year. I think we either finished 3-7 or 4-6. We had a lot of injuries.
Talking still Faultville?
I'm at Faultville.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing Tanner. LaRon is still there.
So they're pretty good.
They're really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jadarius Townsend was still there, and all them cats were there. They were good. And I remember talking to LaRon before the game. My quarterback was just coming back. He had been hurt. My running back was still out. I'm like, and I said, LaRon, my guys, they don't really want to get hit tonight. And he goes, well, Coach, you got to get hit, or you're going to have to take a knee. I said, well, LaRon, I can't take a knee every play. He said, well, Coach, we're going to hit you. And they did. But here's the story. We're down 56-3 at the half. And I'm not feeling bad. Like, we're playing okay. Mm-hmm. They're just that much better than us. All right, so we go out at halftime. They kick off. We take it down and score. Onside kick, get it, score. Onside kick, get it, score. Onside kick, get it.
No way.
It's now 56-24. We miss a field goal. There's 6 seconds left in the third quarter before they ever touch the ball.
That's fantastic.
And we had scored 21 points. Their radio people were on our sideline, and after the game, they came to me and they're like, "Coach, we never seen nothing like it." Mm-hmm. I said, "Well, we've been practicing all those onside kicks for years.
Yeah,
we did every kind of onside kick imaginable." And so that was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. That night was fun. That was good.
What was the final score of that game?
70-24.
So you missed that field goal, but you hit another one?
No. So
it was 56-24, and then you scored 21.
We missed a field goal. He scored 2 more times. So LaRon's deal, when they were good, and this is a credit to him, LaRon was going to win by 50. Mm-hmm. And when he got to 50, he'd call the dogs off. Mm-hmm. So if it was at 50 and he put his subs in and you scored a couple times, he was going to put them back in. That's just what he did. Yep. I mean, I respect him. I mean, LaRon's a phenomenal football coach.
Yep.
So that was a good time. The year that Faulkville beat Tanner, when I was still there, we connected on 2 hook and ladders.
Wow.
One right before the half and one right after the half.
What was the final on that game?
Like 24-13 or something like that.
I would assume that would have been one of the years y'all.
We were good. Round. Tanner was down.
Okay.
Yeah. It was the first time. I'm gonna say it was either 17 or 18. You could look it up, but it was the first time that Faulkville had beat Tanner since '96, and the first time we'd beat them at Tanner since like '75 or something. But anyway, it was in that area, 18, 19, 17, 18, something like that.
It'll take me forever to look at
it's
it.
all right. Don't worry about it.
Good stuff, Coach. Appreciate you stopping by. Good luck to my alma mater, the Elkmont Red Devils. I'm going to try to get up there this fall, man. Maybe talk to your kids a little bit.
Yeah, love it.
Visit. Check out your robot paint machine.
There we go.
I'll take some video and then send it to Coach Snyder and tell him what might have been.
What he missed out on.
That's right, 100%. Just a shameless plug. We've got a night of champions, coaches, a night of encouragement for coaches, local coaches, here at Lindsay Lane Baptist Church coming up in about 6 weeks. If you're out there, coaches, any assistant coaches, head coaches, athletic directors, like to get your coaches here for a night of encouragement that includes free dinner from JW Steakhouse, pretty good eating establishment down there in Priceville. They cater that for us. Got free child care if any of your staff has got some young kiddos and want a free date night. We won't keep you here long, about an hour and a half, probably 2 hours max. Give you a free meal and just encourage you before your season starts. That's coming up at the end of July, 1st of August. I don't have that date right on the
I came last
forefront
year.
of my head.
Highly recommend it.
Great event. If you're listening, get that out to your other assistants. Any sports, doesn't have to be football. We had baseball coaches, basketball coaches, ladies, if you're coaching cheer, volleyball, all of that stuff. Please bring your spouse with you. Have a good night of fellowship and encouragement from our staff here. We'd love to see you here at Lindsay Lane Baptist Church. Appreciate you tuning in and listening. Appreciate Coach Schrenk for stopping by. I think me and Coach is fixing to go grab some lunch. I hope.
Let's do it.
He's still got time to do that.
Let's do it.
Have a fantastic week. Thanks for listening to Limestone County Sports. God bless.